but we're also on tape. We are deeper down in the bowels. Magic Mike.
Here we are.
Bennett, Bill, and live from New York, Christopher Foulds.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Where are you?
I'm at the Lower Manhattan in the place called Bronx's Tavern, the oldest tavern in New York City. And this is in 1783, 12 feet from here. George Washington gave a farewell speech to his troops after the British fled Manhattan. Pretty incredible history here.
And you are also on Staten Island today already?
Yes, we just got back from Staten Island and took the ferry over. It's free. This is what the BC government should think about here. A free ferry, Staten Island to New York, 24 hours a day, every day of the year, every half hour, every 50 minutes during rush hour. It's like a 25-minute trip back and forth. It's really cool.
Did you go and check out the rap history of Staten Island? You know Wu-Tang is from Staten Island?
They are. Wu-Tang is from Staten Island, and Pete Davidson is from Staten Island, and they have a really cool minor baseball team over there called the, I just walked by the stadium, Ferry something. Anyway, it's cool. It's a working class place. Everything there is about $10 cheaper than over here. You know, where I am right now, the wings are $19. Over there, it's 11. So I'd probably live in Staten Island if I was here.
Last time I was in New York, I actually went on a quest to find the best New York cheesecake. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't, but I have tried the best, the New York's best coffee from Elf.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, guys.
I saw about five of those. That's pretty good, yeah. And last night we saw the greatest play I've ever seen in my life, Hamilton. Just the best play ever. And It's about George Washington and Alexander Hamilton. So it's all the history in this tour. It's really amazing.
Who's that lady yapping? There's somebody really...
Pardon me?
Who's the lady yapping next to you? Do you know her?
Oh, what are they talking about?
Well, no, I could just hear her voice. It doesn't matter. We got a great show today. 1 second. We've got 4 provincial champion soccer players. The under 13 Kamloops Blaze are going to join us. They beat Soccer Quest on the weekend on home turf, a Kamloops derby. Really cool story. We also have Brandy Sekhon of McDonald's, and you're excited about this.
I think this is going to be my favorite interview yet.
Yes. And Fouldsy, let's start with this tweet that you had, okay? So Rolling Stone released its top 50 greatest Canadian artists of all time, okay? And Fouldsy, you rolled in with this tweet here. It's a kind of folder dash, so we'll play the folder dash thing right now.
Folder dash?
Folder dash.
Folder dash? Folder dash?
Here's Fouldsy. This list means all.
Ooh.
Carly Rae Jepsen, the head of the hip. No Blue Rodeo. Rolling Stone is irrelevant.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Still angry about that. You know, if you can't have Blue Rodeo in the top 50 and you have Snow, I think Snow was number 50. I mean, I think the weather Snow is better than the artist Snow. And some of those picks are just ridiculous.
Well,
even the Weeknd being as high as he is ridiculous. But,
yeah, the Weeknd was.
Anyway, it just goes to show that it's all subjective, but certain things are not subjective. And if Blue Rodeo's not in the list of the greatest, even top 20 bands, the list is irrelevant.
Mike?
Well, there is, I agree. The Tragically Hip should be way up high on the list. I don't agree with the order, but Slap It to Bass, I was happy to see Rush made the list.
Yeah.
Because they're often forgotten, but what a great Canadian band. And I was surprised that some of the bands that are on the top 10, like we've got Joni Mitchell's number 1, Neil Young 2, Rush is 3, Leonard Cohen's 4, Drake was 5, The Band was 6, Shania Twain was 7, The Weeknd was 8, Alanis Morissette, who's a River Song endorsee, was 9, and Celine Dion, the greatest singer in all the world, was number 10. I don't think I can name a song from every one of those top 10 artists.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, like, I'm a little bit out of touch with newer music, but when I see The Weeknd up there, I can't take that. Fouldsy, what about this? The Hip, they are behind the likes of Kate and Anna McGarrigle, the New Pornographers, and Carly Rae Jepsen. How do you feel about that?
So that's the most. That's the biggest travesty of all. Carly Rae Jepsen being on there. She's a one-hit wonder from Mission, right from my backyard, right across from Abbotsford. A big talent. She got really big with that song. Very catchy song. But
Call Me Maybe.
Her breadth of her discography pales in comparison to the hip or Gordon Lightfoot. I think Lightfoot was below her. I'm not sure, but Gordon Lightfoot should be like top 5 easily. And the fact that didn't happen is also a travesty.
Yeah, Gordon Lightfoot was number 11.
Yeah, it should be like top 5 for sure. I just finished his biography like 2 nights ago here. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he's a songwriter, singer. He's everything, right? So, and it's just dumb. But I guess that's what they want. It's all about clicks and likes and outrage on Twitter. And I guess I fulfilled that mandate for them. So.
I wonder what they used to justify their list. Was it albums sold, songs downloaded?
Well, if it was like Drake shouldn't even be in the top 10 for Pete's sake. But if it's albums sold, he should be number 1, I guess. But you know, the band behind Drake, I mean, that's enough for whoever compiled the list. He should be fired. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. How do you feel about Drake, number 5, beating the band? Katie Lang, for me, too, I just think she has such a great voice. Like, one of the all-time best Canadian voices. To see her at number 40?
She should be higher, for sure. I mean, when she did those Roy Orbison covers, and then that's got her started, and she's amazing, eh? She's just amazing. She did the cover of Hallelujah for Leonard Cohen.
And yeah,
Katie Lang is incredible, yeah.
And you know my friend Tyler Bolt. What's your nickname for him, Tyler Bolt?
Oh, the Toolbox, yeah.
He's the biggest Sloan fan ever. Right now, seeing Sloan at number 20 for him, he's burning his desert boots on the Red Mile in Calgary there. He's mad.
Yeah, well, everyone has their own, but I think everyone has their own, like, you know, it's subjective, like I say, but I think there's no argument that, you know, Joni Mitchell should be in the top 5, the band should be in the top 5. The hip should be in the top 5. Gordon Lightfoot. There's like no, and it's just common sense that guys like, you know, Drake and Carly Rae Jepsen and even Sloan, they should not be ahead of those titans, those legends.
Where's Bryan Adams?
Oh yeah, Bryan Adams is even on the list.
He's there somewhere.
Is he?
I don't know. I got the top 15. He's not in the top 15.
He's not in the top 15.
He's got to be one of the most well-known Canadian artists.
He's way too low on that list too.
Marcella Bernardo's going to be irate about that. Well, for me, Sam Roberts. I'm a big Sam Roberts fan.
The Truth, Sam Roberts,
Again, subjective. Though you're a musician, right? It's all subjective, right? Here we are.
Where was Stompin' Tom? Was Stompin' Tom on the list?
Oh, I didn't even see him on the list. Yeah, that's absolutely right. We should get this guy that compiled this list on so we can have a nice conversation with him.
Yeah, we should find out who did the list. So we can have him on as a guest.
Yeah.
Have you been paying attention to city council items, the standing committees and the select committees? Can you talk about that at all or not really?
Well, yeah, I've been sort of keeping tabs on it a little bit.
City Council voted to dissolve standing committees. These are the committees that are set up by the mayor. They were established by the previous mayor and had just gotten started under the current mayor, Reed Hayman-Jackson, this term, when the mayor made a few changes to them, changes he was allowed to make. He put some members of the public on them and removed a few council members as chairs of these committees, and council kind of rebuked those changes and exercised their power to review them. And as part of this review process, staff ultimately ended up coming back and recommending that they dissolve these committees and basically start fresh on an ad hoc basis, you know, kind of like establish a committee, either be it a select committee or a standing committee as needed on a departmental basis here. So that's what they opted to do. Standing committees, it's a pretty big deal. There was 5 of them, and they were all kind of broad and wide-reaching in scope, which is typical of standing committees. Select committees are more narrow and task-oriented. So what staff ultimately ended up suggesting be done is that on this ad hoc basis, as certain city work needs to be discussed at the committee level, decide whether it needs to be, you know, that more broad-based standing committee or a narrow select committee, based on if you just need to talk about a certain task force. So it's a pretty big deal. These committees do a lot of work, and at this point now, anything that they were dealing with will have to either be talked about at a committee of the whole, which is basically committee, but with all of council instead of just a small amount of them. Either that or to one of the existing standing select committees that were established while the standing committees were paused and reviewed. And so the reason why this is interesting is because they did this review in response to the mayor's changes, which council didn't like, and really it kind of represents a turning point here in operations at City Hall. Essentially, these standing committees have been done away with by council. The mayor says he intends to bring them back, but if he's going to hold them again, he's going to need at least 50% of its membership be council members. And if he intends to, have push through the changes that he initially made to the original ones, it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can even get them off the ground this time, now that the original ones have been dissolved. So interesting times as usual at City Hall. Now, sorry I couldn't be with you guys here first thing this morning, but I will be in later to talk with McDonald's owner Brandy Sekhon there. Should be an interesting time. Back to you in the studio.
The community charter says the mayor can form those standing committees that that talk about different aspects, finance, recreation, and then they come back to council with recommendations as a whole. And the standing committees have to have at least 50% of council membership on it. And then what got all screwed up here is that the mayor appointed a bunch of people from the public, which he's allowed to do, but then the council kind of balked at it because they have their power to determine the terms of reference. It gets really confusing there, really technical. But what council could have done, and I wrote about 3 months ago, and I thought they were going to do this, and it looks like they did, but they could have saved a lot of time, 12 weeks, 3 months worth of just bickering, by simply saying, we resign from the standing committees, therefore they can't go ahead by law because there's not enough councils on it. We'll start our own select committees, in which you only have to have at least one person on it from council, and they can do the same thing. They look at the same issues. And I wrote about that in March or April. I think it's coming to fruition. And if it does, then it just goes to show that this whole thing has been one big drama fest that needn't have gone on so long. But we'll see when we get back how it all shook out.
Here's a question, left field. Would you ever run for mayor?
Would I ever run for mayor?
Yeah.
Maybe one day I would run for mayor. I say this with all humility. I couldn't do any worse job that's being done right now by anyone on council, so why not? Why not?
I would worry about your outbursts. Some of the outbursts, I would love them, but I would worry about them.
I think I would compromise better. I'm good at compromising. I mean, I run a newsroom for almost 20 years, right? I think we compromise a lot in the newsroom, in all seriousness. I'm not an autocrat, right? I ask for input. But when a decision needs to be made, you make the decision, right? So, yeah, I could see myself getting into municipal politics one day, sure.
Magic Mike, what about you? Would you get behind Fouldsy, or would you ever consider?
I would totally get behind Fouldsy for sure. Fouldsy for mayor. I don't know if I would consider mayor or council. I respect what they do. It seems like there's a lot of work. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of, you got to bite your tongue. And being a guy that runs a business, I don't always bite my tongue.
Yeah.
So I think I would be a little bit difficult. But, yeah.
Speaking of drama, Mike and I, and you'll remember this, Chris, because we had a really good weekend with you. We flew out to see you on the weekend in Boston.
Boston, my favorite band.
Boston.
Well, I do like Boston.
More than
the feeling. Bobby Rock on the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a time we had. Hey, Chris, what was your favorite part about the weekend?
Well, going to Fenway Park with you guys, it was fun. Seeing the Red Sox win 3 against the Rangers, that was great.
I love soccer.
And Mike, he was supposed to throw the first pitch. For some reason, he comes out like through the back gate driving an SUV Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, yeah.
And he just rips up the turf in the outfield.
You know, it's got adaptive 4-wheel drive, and you can't make it.
And he crashed into the Green Monster too. That was scary when he crashed the Volkswagen into the Green Monster.
Well, the good thing about that though is
got lots of foam and lots of.
And some of the foam they use is the same foam they use in the Sealy mattresses from Gord's Appliance and Mattress Center. But anyway, you were complaining again, Foulds, and so was Mike, about the rising Bank of Canada interest rates. And I had to remind you that the VW lease rates, they're going down. And you guys forget about that.
I always do. I get so worked up with what's going on, and I realize it's probably never been more affordable to buy a brand new Volkswagen.
And Foulds was running so hot, we had to get him a splash of this summer drink from McDonald's, and he just started dousing it. What did you do with the drink?
Pardon me?
What did you do with the drink? You got a little wild with it, I think.
Well, I was like pouring over my head, like when they won the game, like they won the World Series, and then I got it on the guy next to me from Dorchester, and he got kind of mad at us there because he was all sticky.
Yeah. And he ended up punching you, and you punched him, caught on camera, got back to KTW, you were fired, you had to get a job at Gord's in their delivery department.
Let's cut to that.
Okay. Hell of a weekend, Kate. Fouldsy, final thoughts there? How are the pints going down?
Good. We're just having one right now at Amber Ale. Tonight, going to see a play called The Book of Mormon, which is what's won 9 Tony Awards. That'd be fun. And just walking around a lot, like 10, 12, 14 kilometers a day. There's lots to see here and in Boston. It's a good trip. Hey, what's that? And Hamilton. I stopped talking about Hamilton.
Hey, Catherine. Reading a book.
She's reading a book while I do this here at lunch. It's just incredible. It's a trip of a lifetime. It's extremely expensive, but it's worth it. Pete McMartin, former Vancouver Sun columnist, just had a column in last Saturday's Sun. You should read it. It's all about life and death and living and dying and what's important and what's not important. I know not everyone can afford trips like this. I certainly can't. That's why God made credit cards. But you can pay it off.
We all know your Bachelor Heights dream world you live in.
It's thousands of dollars, right? And to go anywhere. You've been to Italy, Martin. You know what it's like. You've been to France. But you do it, and then you pay it off over 2 years. It's worth it because the memories and travel is like I tell my kids, the best education, man. It's unbelievable.
Make sure I was going to say, make sure you go to Little Italy and get a cannoli made on the street there.
Yes, we're going to do that. That's right. And it's just incredible. Just sitting around, just walking around and seeing things you always wanted to see. Like bucket list stuff, and just seeing history, like putting your hand on a piece of cement and knowing that it's Washington stepped on it, or when we were in Italy, right, stepping on a thing that predated Jesus. That's incredible stuff, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we appreciate you hopping in via Zoom. We'll see you back in studio next week. Thanks a lot.
Let me see. I'm holding here he is. Holding my thing. There you go.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right, guys. See you in a bit.
Everybody.
Okay, what can I do?
Well, I'd like to make an announcement, please. There's nobody in the tournament capital of Canada that loves McDonald's more than me. I'd like to make an order now, please.
Okay, what would you like?
I'd like a medium coffee, both with 2 cream.
2 medium, 2 cream?
Just one, please.
Just one? Okay. What's up here today?
Well, I forgot to ask you, what's your favorite thing on the menu?
Probably the frappes.
The frappes. What do you like about them? What's your favorite thing about them?
They're really good.
They're just really good. Okay, so are you. Thank you very much.
I had her mic muted.
You had her mic muted.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to do a little practice run so everybody was all calm and we're all good.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm going to level with the audience here, okay? This has been a disaster start to the show. Everything's mixed around. Foulds was supposed to come in. Michael's late again, but Brandy's on time. You were on time. This is Brandy Sekhon from McDonald's. She owns 6 in Kamloops, 1 in Merritt. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
You heard about our show in part because of your dad, I believe.
Yep, he watched some funny football videos and said, you need to find out who these guys are. And from there, I think it was history. We just kind of jumped on board right away.
It's been a good fit, and you've been with us now for more than a year and a half.
Yeah.
I wanted to say thank you to you. So that's why you're on. Also because you leveled up now. You're a co-title sponsor, and part of the deal is once a month, you or whoever you want is going to come on our show and talk about McDonald's. One question to start. I do drive-through videos.
Yes.
Every week, it's part of the deal, and I go and make a fool of myself and try and have some fun with the attendants.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I say shopping local right here at McDonald's, there's one lady that hops into my DMs and rips me and says, it's not local, what are you talking about? You don't agree with that, do you?
No, I don't. First off, though, our crew love when you come through because you become the star of the show for the next hour. They just talk about how funny you are. But we are locally owned and operated. We are a family business. I have my children go to school with your children. I live in your community. I lived in Merritt for 10 years. I am as local as it comes. Everything is that we do stays here. McHappy Day stayed here. I am part of your community, so we are as local as the other guys.
$69,000-ish
Yeah.
raised on McHappy Day.
Yeah.
How cool was that event?
Pretty unbelievable. McHappy Day for me has a huge spot in my heart. We are so lucky that the RIH and Interior Health have partnered up with Ronald McDonald House, and we're going to have a family room right here in our hospital, which will service all of the communities around us. So what is the worst thing when your child is sick? Having to find somewhere to stay or leave your child, especially if you have to do some work or a show or something. There'll be a quiet space with a living area to do your laundry, cook a meal. There'll also be someone working there just to kind of give you a hug and help you through those times. It's amazing. The one in Surrey, they have a family room. They actually had a Super Bowl party during, like, in the hospital, but they could kind of get away. And it's clean and it's spacious and it's going to be amazing. 2024 is going to be a great year.
We're going to talk more about the impact on the community, but Mike Miltimore has been dying to talk to you.
I know that when I hire people for our music store, if they've got McDonald's experience, that's a great start, and I value what you guys do in terms of employing and teaching young people how to actually be in the workforce. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about today. It's a little bit more of a serious matter. I've been traveling the world with my guitar company, and I invented a new burger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called the McMike.
McMike.
And I've been ordering it around Kamloops, and I think it's starting to catch on. People are understanding this. And when I travel around, people go, like, what is this? I said, it's a McMike. It's huge in Western Canada. That might be a little bit of a white lie, but it is a huge deal. And I actually sent a letter into the head office, so I'd really appreciate it if you could follow up and see. And basically, the McMike is this. It's a double cheeseburger, which I think is the perfect ratio of meat to cheese to ketchup to bun.
Yes.
But I add, instead of the second patty, it's an egg, because you make breakfast all day long. You can get the egg all day long.
Yeah.
And, you know, for busy entrepreneurs such as myself, I just need that extra little bit of kick. I don't need to have all of the things that come along with meat. It is the egg patty. It adds moisture, and it gives me energy throughout the day. So the McMike.
And you skip a meal, because you got breakfast and lunch all at once.
That's right. So, are you in support of the McMike?
So we do have a lot of creative minds like yourself. And you know what? If you want to put a shot of espresso over top of your ice cream sundae, I'll have it. And
I never thought
if
of
you
that.
want to, exactly, you'd never thought of that. But you know what? Jenny out there, she did, and it's catching fire in the Eastern Canada. So keep fighting the fight.
The McMike.
Yeah, McMike. Keep fighting the fight, Mike.
How often do you get people asking you about when are you going to bring back the Arch Deluxe, the big extra? Is there one burger or like the pizza that people are always like, when is it going to come back?
You know what? If I could bring back the pizza, I would. If you go back to my 6th birthday, I think that's probably when I fell in love with McDonald's. I had my birthday there, and we made our own pizzas. Greatest day. I'm all for it, but I don't think they're coming back. The Arch Deluxe, probably my sister's all-time favorite burger. So I think everyone has an emotional connection at some point in their life to something, but there's always the iconic chicken nuggets.
I have definitely been waiting for the McDonald's pizza to make its triumphant return.
It's not coming back. I wish it was, but it's
McRib.
not coming back.
I have a source.
Okay.
Cannot confirm or deny if they are a current or former employee, but he or she told me that secret menus are real.
They are.
So my question to you is, if I go to the North Shore McDonald's, which is the McDonald's I've grown up with, what symbol or handshake must I give the person at the window in order to get the Airland and Sea Burger?
The what?
The Airland and Sea Burger? What is the secret menu stuff?
I think you're going to have to maybe go on to McDonald's Canada, go back a few posts, and you might find something. But that's why it's a secret. You weren't supposed to share it.
So this is
the
the other McMike.
Yeah.
So filet fish.
No, I didn't invent this.
McChicken, and And beef patty?
Yes, you take a Big Mac, and then you take a McChicken and a filet of fish. You have the land, the beef, the sea, the fish, and the air, chicken.
Wow, is
Air.
the chicken really the air? But I
had-
understand.
It's a secret menu. It's not a perfect fit.
I know what I'm
Apparently,
getting
the
for
burger's
lunch today.
delicious.
Mike also collects toys to this very day. I think his whole, yes, he's a toy collector. And you have some old McDonald's toys, Mike?
Yeah, my other question for you. Will my 1990s McDonald's McHappy Meal toys appreciate in value? Which ones are the most valuable? And should I move my teeny beanies from my parents' garage into a safety deposit box?
So I have no idea, but I also have teeny beanies in the package.
In the package?
So I am right with you. So when you find out, you let me know.
Yeah? Okay. I think I have the turtle and the flamingo from back in the
What
day.
was Fred Rocks or something forever ago?
I've had a few
Those
iterations.
Were cool
I remember
too.
the hockey cards.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those were big, collecting the
Yeah.
hockey cards. That
Those
was-
are also in my parents' garage.
You,
Should I move those? To a
you
safety
should move
deposit?
them all to my office. You
All
would
right.
love my
Let's,
office.
Mike,
It's
they're
full
in
of
a
that
display
kind of
case on
stuff.
your
Let's be real, yeah, they
bedside table, let's be honest.
Everybody
Okay,
loves McDonald's.
what's going on? What's the latest? Is there any upcoming events that you can talk about, or is there any, I know the Summer Drink Day special is on, anything you want to talk about?
The Grand Mac is coming back. So if you're a Big Mac fan, but you just like a little bit more, so it's a little bit grander, bun's a little bit bigger, meat's a little bit bigger, extra sauce, extra lettuce. If you can sing the Big Mac song, maybe I'll have a prize for you.
I don't know. Do you know the Big Mac song, Mike?
No, I do not know it.
Okay.
You don't know the Big Mac song?
The Big Mac? No, I don't.
You don't know the Big Mac song?
No, I don't.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go.
Two
All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese,
pickles,
lettuce on a
onions,
sesame seed bun.
Wow.
You don't know that?
No, I didn't
It's
know
the most
that.
famous song.
Okay, Grand Mac for him.
Michael's best moment on the show of all
That's it,
time.
yeah.
Just, that was it.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you for being here. That's
Thank
yeah,
you.
okay. The KLW Charity Pickleball Challenge is coming up.
Yes.
I'm going to be trying to hit you up for some kind of prize donations, because what we're trying to do is, that's Mike's phone going off, bring a bunch of prizes in order to attract people to this event.
Mm-hmm.
Have a pickleball match, and no, his phone's going off like crazy. This show is a nightmare, and we want to have you guys there. So can McDonald's, will you guys be there at this event? It's August 2nd, or have a representative there to come help us out and raise some money for a charity?
We'll absolutely help you out.
Okay.
We love to be a part of any type of event that the city has going on. We've been a part of, I think, probably over 60 events since the beginning of June. Kim and Nick and the rest of my team, it's probably one of the funnest things they do is
Yeah.
when they get to be a part of the community, and it really just solidifies that we are your neighbors. So it's fun for us to be able to help.
I do think, when you think about McDonald's, you do kind of think about this corporate entity. But then if you think back to your kids or your days as a kid playing sports, what was there? The big old McDonald's
orange drink.
orange
You guys have
drink.
that still?
No, it's gone.
Right?
Secret menu.
That was, no, COVID killed that one. That's sad.
I crave that some
I
days.
know. I think everyone does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you-
But the lemonades are so good.
Oh,
the fruit
okay.
splash are so good.
And when
$2 right now.
When it's
They're
hot and
amazing.
you're thirsty, it's really great. I want to say one last thing, because I'm so excited. This is my favorite guest, by the way, Marty.
Of all time.
My wife, the reason why I decided to marry my wife is she showed up at one of my band gigs in Savona, of all places.
Savona.
We're playing, and she showed up, and she had secretly bought a bunch of McDonald's cheeseburgers. And at the end of the night, we're all sitting around. She pulled out a bag of like 25 cheeseburgers, and she was the hero of the party.
That's awesome.
25 years later, we did that last Thanksgiving out in the middle of the lake.
Yes.
At our midnight snacks, everybody was supposed to bring a midnight snack. We brought out a bag of
man.
McDonald's cheeseburgers, and they were like, "How did you do this?" It's genius. It's fantastic.
Heroics.
Thank you for being in our community, and thank you for sponsoring our show.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
just mic drop and get out of here.
One last question before you go.
Okay.
Okay, if you had an employee that consistently showed up late, how much leeway would there be before you got to terminate them? Because Michael, I don't get it again today. He's 10 minutes late. Like, what would the policy be?
I don't know. He's pretty big into McDonald's. I don't want to. I like him, so he can sing the Big Mac song. I'd keep him around, guys.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for being
I
here
had
today.
newspaper to run this week.
Thank
Come on,
you,
I'm
guys.
full.
Oh, that's right. He's Foulds.
I'm full.
Okay. Thanks for being here. Appreciate
Thank you.
Who's hosting the pool party?
There's a pool party?
There's a pool party?
Nya, there's a pool party? No, you're supposed to know these things. What?
No, I feel like you would know those.
You should know these things.
No.
This guy actually you can connect your phone to, so if you're out doing your errands and you already put your laundry in there, you can, 45 minutes before you get home, turn it on, so then by the time you get home, it'll just be finished in time.
That is a good perk, and I think there's a couple more over here you were going to show me.
Yeah, and then apart from our Whirlpool brands, we have our Electrolux brands. These ones are a really nice high-end one as well. Bit of a busy user interface, but they have a lot of different options and cycles, and once you get used to what you kind of like, it becomes second nature. And these ones have really great warranties, and they're super reliable. We don't do a lot of service calls on these ones either. And of course, we offer the apartment size ones as well. If you're limited to your sizing in your apartment, we've got the 24-inch models, and they're ventless, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about all that.
And in the rare occasion service is required, you service what you sell, don't you?
We service everything we sell.
BC champions, the under 13 Kamloops Blaze, KYSA Blaze, Ella, Piper, Sophia, Nya. I want to ask some questions about the team here first, okay? Just some trivia for the team. Of all the mums, who's the loudest mum on the sidelines?
Miranda.
Mine. Yeah, Miranda.
Mine.
What's like? Is it a scream? Is it shouting?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
She's just the loudest. She's the most out there.
But you put your hand up there, Sophia, didn't you?
Her mom.
Her mom too.
Yeah.
That would be
Mine's pretty
Diana.
loud.
Yeah.
With the cowbell.
Yep.
Diana has the cowbell.
Yeah, because my mom can't use it on the sideline.
What about the dads? Loudest dad?
Eric?
Yeah, I'd say Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Eric, whose dad is that?
Layla.
Layla, yeah.
Maybe
Mila's dad. Mila's dad was pretty loud, yeah.
I never heard Mila's dad.
He just like yells when you
Is it like yells of anger or support?
like support.
They're like really
Nice to all the referees and officials, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the nicest goal? Who scored the nicest goal this season?
Ella.
I would say
Nya, yours was so perfect though.
Or I would say like Mal's goal, like right over the head of the goalie.
Mal's was so good.
Which Ella goal are you talking about?
Oh, I saw we were talking about like the finals game, so I definitely say Ella's like when she ran it up by herself and then like shot it and landed on her face.
I didn't even see it myself. Yeah, my face was in the dirt.
Well, you're going to see it in a little bit because we have video of that goal, and I have to agree that was an amazing goal. Also, the first penalty kick, I think it was you. The first, that was an absolute rocket.
It was such a good goal, Nya.
That was amazing. Roughest player on the team, who's most likely to get a red or yellow card?
Ella.
How many did you get this season?
I've already got a yellow card, just one.
You've gotten like three.
Probably three, but they don't call most of them.
Is it the elbows or the slide tackles?
I'm probably too aggressive with my checks.
That's okay though. It's okay to get in there and mix it up a little bit sometimes. Oh, I asked you that one. Team superstitions.
Well, I don't really think.
Are there any songs you listen to?
We listen to very hype songs.
Yeah, we listen
before they
to
get like Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
T Swift.
We listen to T Swift.
For Swifties.
Yeah.
Team pool party. You don't even know about this.
Yeah, we don't even know about
We don't know about that.
We're just figuring this out.
Okay, which parent are you gonna push into the pool?
My mom.
Yeah,
like probably all the coaches. Maybe Jody. Probably
maybe Mike.
Mike.
Yes. Mike.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the game. Okay, let's tee this up. It's KYSA against Soccer Quest, crosstown rivals, provincial championship game in Kamloops, and it's tense, isn't it?
Yes.
What was it like? Let's start with you, Nya. Just before the game, what was it feeling like?
I was so nervous. I felt like I was gonna throw up because it was just like, because we had lost against Soccer Quest and tied against Soccer Quest, so we had never actually won against this team in the season. So it was like we had to pull out the win.
Piper, what's that rivalry like with Soccer Quest?
I would say like it's probably like competitive and like just because you want to like be like the best team in like the city, and so like every time we play them, it's like pretty like aggressive and like.
Yeah. And we'll give a shout out to Soccer Quest right now because they were a good opponent. I mean, they never said die. You went up 1-0, they tied it. You went up 2-1, they tied it. But let's start with the first goal. Sophia, you scored the first goal, and this is what it looked like right here.
And I shot it. And then the ref put her arm up, so I thought that she didn't count it because of the handball.
Yeah.
But she did, so I was pretty like happy.
Yeah,
I think she was playing advantage. Did you always have that thundering left foot?
No, I used to be right-footed, and then like just one year I started playing with my left more, and now I have like more power on my left foot.
Okay. So you're up 1-0, but here comes Soccer Quest. They tie it up. Ella Simpson, let's see what you did. So that's like a TSN top 10 goal right there. So just take me through what happened on that play.
So we started, it was like after one of their goals, right? It was like right after one of their goals.
So was that the second half?
No.
It was still the first half?
Yeah, it was still the first half.
Oh, so that was right after their goal?
Yeah, it was right after their first goal, and then I gave it back to Haley, I think it was, and then Haley passed it up to Mal. And like Mal passed it up. It was a good pass. I just wasn't there, and like one of their defenders got it, but then she tried passing it to one of their outsides, but I just like intercepted it, and I came up, and then I shot it. It was supposed to be a cross.
Okay.
Like I didn't mean for it to go in the net, and I didn't even see it because like I was in the ground.
I was going to ask you, was that planned? Because that's a long way out to shoot from.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it went in.
It wasn't. It was supposed to be a cross.
So again, they scored to tie it up, and so there was no goals. Or did they score in the second half then to tie it up?
Yeah, it was in the second half.
The second half. So Never Say Die, Soccer Quest ties it up, and then it's time for a shootout. Nya, you're the first shooter. Why do you think you were picked to shoot first?
I don't know. I don't really know why.
My mom told me you were picked because you were like calm, and she knew that you could hold it together if you went first.
Yeah, I was told that like you were definitely gonna play it safe, like you weren't gonna try and like overshoot it.
Yeah.
That's not exactly what happened.
I was actually aiming for like the bottom corner, but it kind of hit more in the middle.
It was good. It was like it was a really good kick.
What was it like? It's a long way from the halfway line to that spot, and
it's like such a nervous walk. You're just walking and everyone's just like
cheering you on, and like
cheering,
it's
and
quiet.
Then sometimes it's just like so quiet that you're like, what's happening?
What was going through your mind?
I can't miss this.
If I miss this,
I miss this, I just can't miss this.
Yeah.
That's what was going through my mind.
And this is what happened right here.
The run back.
Don't look at
The run back. Have you ever ran faster in your life?
No. I don't think so.
What does it feel like to score? Because you knew the pressure was on, all these people are watching you, so what did it feel like?
Amazing. It felt great. It felt great.
What did you learn about yourself?
That I can shoot.
Under pressure.
that I can score.
You're a very calm person.
Yeah.
So that feeling you have when you're running back, okay? If you could bottle that feeling up and put it into a drink, what would you name the drink? What would the drink be called? It's a weird question, but I want an answer here.
I don't know, like, I don't know, like overwhelming or like I don't know.
Okay.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. I don't
Overwhelming
know.
orange.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overwhelming orange.
Yep.
There we go. Sophia, let's get to you. You're the fourth shooter. I believe it was all tied up at that point.
Yeah.
How are you feeling walking up to the spot?
I was feeling nervous. I was like crying before I started walking, but then I had to pull myself together. But I was pretty confident that I was going to get it in. Like I wasn't very worried because like the goalie can always get it, but the net's pretty big compared to the goalie, so all I knew is I had to get in like one of the corners.
Your coach told me actually about some of the girls crying. Why were the tears happening before?
It was mostly because they thought the game was over.
Yeah.
It was pretty overwhelming because they knew they were going into PKs, and like they were hoping that they weren't picked to shoot.
Just because it's so much pressure, Piper.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind?
Well, like I was saying, like just like because like you didn't really know kind of what was gonna happen in that, and like it was kind of more up to like the shooters instead of the goalies, because like the chances of being able to like know where they're going to shoot from, or like where they're gonna hit the net and like be able to get there in time, and so it was just like really like nervous and like
There's not as much pressure on the goalies, I don't think, in that situation, because you're not expected to make a stop. Sophia, this is what you did.
I saw that
There's someone like in a huge slogan.
It's a great.
So that celebration, the hands up, where does that come from?
I don't know. I
It's
used
just
to
a habit.
watch like a lot of like FIFA, so like,
Yeah.
and they'd always do that. So
I was going to say,
I
your mom's
just got-
Venezuelan, right? There's some
Yeah.
Venezuelan flair there, I think, running
yeah, I
back.
just got in the habit of doing it.
Did you decide? Oh, actually, I want to ask you because I watched you kind of did a little giddy up hitch step. Is that something that you had planned, or did that just
Yeah,
happen?
I planned that. Like, people were saying that I decided to switch feet halfway, but there's no chance I take it off my right foot, so I just wanted to, like, throw the goalie off, and I couldn't really tell, but it kind of looked like she scooted her foot over a bit, which I don't know if that helped at all or not, but, yeah, I just wanted to try and throw her off a bit so she didn't see where it was, like, going to go.
Yeah, it was good.
So Piper, you had made one save already, but now this is the big one because it's tied at 4-4. You know that if you stop it, then Ella's going to have a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
So how were you feeling in that moment?
I was feeling like pretty like kind of just like excited after I like saved like the first shot. I kind of thought to myself like, okay, I actually like can do this. And but then I was also just like the whole time thinking it didn't really like matter kind of what happened because we were already in like first or second. And yeah, but it was like pretty exciting, and yeah.
And this is what happened. Yeah, what did that feel like to make that save?
Oh, it was like the best feeling ever, and I was like just so like excited. And
It's a tough situation. That was a good shot. You just made a good save on it. Ella, this is your time here. This is your moment, okay? You know if you score, that's yours. You're the BC champion. So take me through your thought process.
Well, the walk up was really stressful, and like it felt like there was a lot of pressure on me. But when I was walking up, it was like quiet, like silent. There was no one, like I couldn't hear anybody, right? And then, like I know, like my mom noticed that I was the only person that actually jogged up there, because I was like, okay, well if I jog, then I'll get it over with. Let's get it over with. It was so stressful.
Were you thinking anything? Like, was there something in your mind?
Well, I was thinking about how I have to kick it in the bottom corner or up at the top, because if I kick it in the right spot, then the goalie wouldn't be able to save it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. All right, whose mom was that?
That was mine.
The celebration, what did that feel like?
Well, it was loud, and it was pretty exciting. I had to take a breather from the group because I was pretty overwhelmed. It was really loud and ear bleeding.
Nya, what stands out to you about that moment?
It was like so hectic. It was just like everything was like there's so much noise coming from all around.
Piper, was there somebody who you bear hugged first there?
oh no, I just kind of like ran to just everyone, like yeah.
Did your family say anything to you after the game, Sophia? Any words for you after the game?
When we were running down, giving high fives to the crowd, I didn't see my family there, so I was like, they're probably waiting at where the medals were. And then when I saw like my dad and mom, like I wasn't crying before out of joy, but when I saw my parents, I like started crying. So in every photo, like you can see, like I was like happy, but I was sobbing so much.
Okay, well, congrats to you all. There was the U13 Blaze, that's you, so you won gold. The U14 Blaze won gold. The U16 Soccer Quest team, they won gold. The U17 Blaze won silver, and the U15 and 18 Blaze, they won bronze. So what do you think that says about soccer in the city?
Well, it's pretty exciting that we have multiple teams making the podium
Yeah.
and stuff.
And there were two girls on the Soccer Quest team that scored. I wanted to mention their names. Olivia Ferris and Ruby Samaha. I hope I pronounced that
Ruby, I
right.
forgot
So
about
congratulations to you and Soccer Quest on a great season. Silver medal, fantastic. Final thoughts, ladies. The floor is yours.
Soccer Quest, I just wanted to say, like, Soccer Quest, they played really well. It was a hard-fought game.
Yeah,
They-
they gave us a good fight.
Yeah. They had good sportsmanship, and, like, everybody was just, like, together and stuff.
Are you going to
And it was great
repeat?
by the end.
Oh, yeah.
Repeat next year?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the medals up and say bye. Okay, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Volkswagen.
Magic Mike, it was a day.
What a show, what a day. You know, I think if anything could kind of go sideways, it did this show, but this was a fun show.
You had to calm me down a little bit.
Yeah, I think
I was getting a little bit rattled.
Breathe in, breathe out, yeah.
Well, a lot of things went wrong, and I wanted to make sure we got things on time, and you said sing the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy, right?
That's right, don't worry, be, yeah.
Well, we pivoted, we made it work. I do want to talk about the Pickleball Challenge very quickly.
Yes.
It's all coming together. I finally did some organizing. Wednesday, August 2nd, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at TRU. TRU nice enough to give us the courts for free. They're going to hook you up with power, so Lee's Music's going to be on site running the audio visual. There'll be no visual, just be all audio, the mics, and playing some music for us. Volkswagen, McDonald's, and Gord's, they are contributing. I think we're going to have somewhere in the range of like $600 to $800 in prizes that we're going to be giving away, which is going to be the draw for you to come. And if you want to come and hang out with us and talk to us,
we'd love that. And I got to say that the competition is the rhetoric going back and forth is heating up. I think this is going to be a really strong game, and I'm worried about Tara cheating, to be honest.
So am I.
Yeah.
Especially after you see this video right here.
Hello, Mr. Foulds and Mr. Hastings. We've been hearing a lot of smack talk from especially you, Marty, but we haven't seen you out on the court. So it's time for you guys to find out what we have in store for you. I'll turn it over to the one and only Franca Petrucci.
Thanks, Tara. So, Marty and Chris, we see you trying to psych us out, talking all that smack, but we're not backing down. We're ready to attack. You may think you're slick with your fancy moves, but we'll outsmart you, making you sing the blues. Blues! So, my friends, let's settle this score. On the pickleball court, we'll see who wants it more. More. Pickleball is our domain. We rule this court. Get ready, my friends, for a fierce retort. But let's keep in mind.
Right.
It's all in good fun to raise funds for
the Kamloops This Week Christmas Cheer Fund. And I just want to throw it in there, Kamloops Last Week. We hear it's above the folds. We don't think, Chris, you can even get it above the net. So bring it. August 2nd, we'll see you guys Wednesday night. Yeah.
The whole point of this thing is to raise money for the Kamloops This Week Christmas Cheer Fund. So you come out, it's by donation, whatever you can give to us. Every single cent will go toward the Christmas Cheer Fund, and you'll have a chance to win these prizes. There's GCs to different restaurants, there's prepaid visas, and there's other things. There's
McDonald's stuff.
McDonald's is
I
coming.
even asked for nuggets, right?
Yes.
So there should be nuggets there.
Nuggets and a big drink of the summer drink day to keep cool.
Man, you know what would be great is if we could get like one of those like soccer jugs. Ever since we started talking about it, it's been like
the little
the new iced teas and lemonades that they have.
Yeah.
To get that into the little thing, they got to have those in the basement there.
Yeah, Brandy, go down to the basement, check it out. Okay, Magic Mike, thanks a lot for all your help. For Mike Potestio, the North Shore Italian, who was late, we'll thank him. Kind of.
He's got short legs. It takes him a long time to get over here.
That's true. That's true. For Bennett, for Bill, for Foulds, I'm Marty. We'll see you last week.